let's talk about the concept of intuitive eating as it relates to tracking or having that consistency. Thoughts on intuitive eating?
Actually, one of my episodes just dropped today that is all about intuitive eating, which is kind of funny. I'm a big fan of intuitive eating, but again, like I would say, like with discipline comes freedom, because intuitively, I would love to sit down and have Oreos and ice cream for dinner. Like, who wouldn't, right? Like intuitively, my body's like, yeah, that sounds great. But you also have to intuitively know that that's not what's going to be fueling your body or your goals or your health. And I think that you have to be in a really good place mentally with food before you can commit and be successful with intuitive eating. And there's a couple pieces to that, like understanding that intuitive eating it's basically the anti-diet. So it's not necessarily good food or bad food or too much or too little. It's honoring your hunger, and it's also honoring your fullness. So it's all of these things that have to kind of play into with each other and just kind of go full circle for you to be successful with intuitive eating.
Yeah, I really feel like there's a personal formula for everybody. There isn't a one size fits all. We've already sort of talked about that. But the intuitive eating piece, to me, I have a tough time having the conversation with somebody about the intuitive eating without a baseline and without a long-standing, experience, personal experience with eating at least one way, right? So because then it can become intuitive, that there's a relationship to it. I have a sense to it because I've had experience with this and I've done this for a long time. So whether it was healthy or unhealthy, there was consistency to it, and so you can relate back to that versus the all over the place every time adopting some new eating diet type or behavior or something to fulfill some short-term or short-lived emotional goal or whatever else. But I don't want to track my calories, and I just want to eat when I feel good, and I know what I should be eating, so that's the way I want to approach this. It puts the coach in a really tough position to help a person make maybe adjustments or just to even give them guidance because it's so vague, right?
Yeah, it's definitely hard to. I have a good handful of clients right now that are intuitive eating. It's hard, but it's not impossible to make changes. I think it's harder on the coach's end to feel like you are delivering enough
value.
Yes, absolutely. But the biggest things we cover is like, I cover a lot of like their habits. Like, are they still? What does their veggie intake look like? Has their food quality changed? How's their timing? Are they having energy dips? Like things like that really are going to make intuitive eating successful. Because intuitive eating for some people can be under eating, right? Like if I intuitively eat, and that's why I started tracking again with my new journey, is because I tend to under eat if I intuitively eat. And so, but also intuitive eating on another end for some people can be overeating. Sometimes it's just eating the wrong shit, right? Yep. So like that awareness piece is huge, and you do have to have that foundation where you start somewhere and you have some level of awareness with what is in what, basically. How much protein is this? What is this amount of carbs? And how does this fat fit into this plate? And things like that. It's just important to have that awareness.